Om Shanti. Good morning, Diamond Morning. Every day Baba is teaching us because he wants us to make our fortune multi-million times. He wants us to have a right to our fortune. So the method is to apply the knowledge and make ourselves fortunate. Today, particularly in the blessing, Baba is giving us this method. He says we need to get greetings from, in this Brahmin line, and the greetings from him. So let's listen to Baba's sweet versions of the 27th of May 2022. In the essence, Baba says, sweet children, churn the ocean of knowledge and prove that the history and the geography of Bharat, and prove what the history and geography of Bharat is. When it was the era of the New World, and the duration of the cycle will then automatically be proved. Question: what deep concern do you children have, which is different from those of other human beings? Answer: your deep concern is to salvage the sunken boat of the world and to tell the true story of becoming Narayan and the story of immortality to everyone, so that they can all make progress. Although there are big palaces and electricity, etc., people do not realize that that is all false, artificial progress. Real progress was made in the Golden Age, which the Father is now bringing about. And the song of Baba's Murli. At last the day we had been waiting for has come. Om Shanti. The Lord of the poor has surely come, but there is no mention of the accurate date or time. There must be a date and time period, just as it is said that today is such and such a day, month, and year. However, when did the Lord of the poor come? They have not mentioned that. Lakshmi and Narayan existed at the beginning of the Golden Age, and so there must be their era. Their kingdom existed in such and such an era. There is the era of Lakshmi and Narayan, and all the others have their own eras too. It must also be written in which era Guru Nanak took birth. Without the era being given, you cannot know anything. Lakshmi and Narayan ruled in Bharat, so there must surely be an era for them. Their era is the era of the Golden Age. Lakshmi and Narayan ruled in the Golden Age, but from when till when did they rule? It would be said that it was 5,000 years ago. There has to be a different time for the birth of the Gita. There is no difference in time between Shiva's birth and the Gita's birth. There is no difference in time between Shiva's birth and the Gita's birth, because as soon as Baba comes, he starts teaching the knowledge. So the Gita is, birth of the Gita is that time also. The time of Krishna's birth would be different. You would have to write that the era of Lakshmi and Narayan is also the same. You have to churn the ocean of knowledge about how to explain to the public? Why don't they show the era of Lakshmi and Narayan? They show the era of Vikram, Vikram in brackets, the time of the sinful ones. But what about the era of Vikramjit, those who conquered sinful actions? You children understand very well. And so you should mention the history and the geography of Bharat and the era of the new world. There was the kingdom of the original eternal deities in the new world, and you can also call it their era. Excuse. If you calculate this, it was 5,000 years ago. By your proving this, the duration of the cycle will automatically be proven, and the thousands of years that they have mentioned will be proved wrong. The Father, the seed of the human world tree, comes and explains all of these things. He knows the beginning, the middle, and the end of the world. The dynasty of Lakshmi and Narayan existed 5,000 years ago. Then, the dynasty of Rama and Sita came into existence 3,750 years ago. And then their dynasty continued. The era of the King Vikram started. Even the era of King Vikram is not accurate. There are some years missing in the middle. It should be 2,000, excuse me. It should be 2,500 years ago. The Islam and Buddhist religion started a little later. Their era has been shown as starting 2,000 years ago. You know that you were all deities, and that after going around the cycle, you have become Brahmins. You have to explain the history and the geography very clearly. From Brahmins, you once again become deities. If you understand this history and geography, you also have to understand the era. The era is also mentioned in the picture of the ladder. The era of Bharat has disappeared. They have missed out the era of those who were worthy of worship. Then the era of worshippers began. They talk about the Ashok pillar, Ashok in brackets meaning without sorrow. In the Copper Age, there is no one without sorrow. The Ashok pillar lasted for half the cycle through the Golden and Silver Ages. It is this that is praised. There is no praise of the Shuk pillar, that is, with sorrow. There is nothing but sorrow here. They keep the name Ashoka Hotel, but it is not so. For half the cycle, they call momentary happiness a time without sorrow. But there is no such thing as Ashoka, that is without sorrow, especially at this time when it is so much sorrow. This is the era of sorrow. They eat meat, drink alcohol, and impure things, etc., and don't understand the reason for experiencing sorrow. You understand that only those who are happy in heaven a cycle ago will listen to these things. Those who were not there will not even listen. Those who have finished doing devotion are the ones who will come and listen to some of these teachings. People will be happy to hear this knowledge. The pictures are clear, and the era is mentioned. The birds of Brahma and Vishnu have to be here, but as for Shankar, he exists in the subtle region. Shiva is in the incorporeal world. They do not know about the subtle region or the incorporeal world, and this is why they have combined Shiva and Shankar. Shiva is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, whereas Shankar is a deity. The two cannot be combined. You children are now given so much understanding. You have such great intoxication. Day and night, your only concern should be about how to explain to others. One only explain to those who are senseless. You understand what Bharat was before and how the downfall came about. People of the world think that it has progressed a great deal. Previously, you didn't have so many big palaces or electricity. There is great progress at this time, but they don't know that that great progress is artificial and false. True progress was made in the golden age. You have to explain that they have their own concern and that your concern is different. You are happy that you are salvaging the sunken boat of the world with Baba's knowledge. Baba is once again telling the true story of becoming Narayan and the story of immortality. On the path of devotion, people tell many stories. You understand that they are false stories that don't bring any benefit. Even though you have been listening to the scriptures, the world has continued to become tamopradhan. You have been descending the ladder. What was the benefit? The Sikhs have a gathering where they bathe in a lake. They do not believe in the river Ganges or the river Jamuna. The Sikhs do not go to the Kumbh Mela. They go to their own lake. They have a special program for that. Sometimes they go to clean the pool. Such things don't exist in the Golden Age. In the Golden Age, all the rivers, etc., are absolutely clean. There will be no rubbish in the river Ganges or the river Jamuna. And now these rivers are so filled with so much rubbish, so unclean. There is the difference of day and night between the water of the Ganges there and the water here. They put a lot of rubbish into it here, there, in the Golden Age. Everything will be first class. You children now have great happiness that your future kingdom is going to be like that. After 5,000 years, we are once again established in heaven by following Srimad. It is called heaven, paradise, and was ruled by Lakshmi and Narayan. The land of peace and the land of nirvana are the same. You know how we reside in the land of peace. Shiv Baba is at the top, and then there are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar. Then the rosary of the deities. If you look at the picture of the soul's world, you will see how first there is the supreme soul and three, and so it comes down in that increasing amount, referring to the deities as you go lower. And even more, the other souls of the world. So Baba says, you know how we reside in the land of peace. Shiv Baba is at the top. And then there are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar. Then the rosary of deities. They are followed by the warriors, merchants, and Shudras. Souls continue to come down number-wise, from the incorporeal tree. Those who do not go into the golden age will not come to study. You will not come here to study. Those who do not go into the golden age. Even the Hindu religion has become disunited. No one knows that the original deity religion used to exist. No one knows how or when that religion was established. You have now been given this knowledge. Why we have been given this knowledge? So that you can explain it to others. These pictures are very easy to understand. You can make anyone understand when and how they claim the kingdom and how and for how long they ruled. There also has to be the era of when, till when Rama and Sita ruled. Later on, impure kings begin to rule. Deities are the main ones who are worshipped. In fact, all of that praise should be of the one who is worthy of worship. On the path of devotion, they continue to worship everyone. Each one is praised at his own time. It says each one is praised at his own time. They do not even know those whom they worship in the temples. They feel happy when you explain to them. This is why they open centers. They know that they become deities through this knowledge. The Father came and made the poor wealthy. The Father comes and explains to you, children, and you in turn explain to others to awaken their fortune. At this time, you're listening to the Father telling the history and the geography of the world. By understanding this, you come to know everything. It is the creator of the world, the seed, who would speak about the history and the geography of the world. He is knowledgeable. He is incorporeal Shiva. A bodily being cannot be called God, the creator. The incorporeal one is the father of all souls. He sits here and explains to souls, I reside in the supreme abode. I have entered this body. I too am a soul. Because I'm the seed form and knowledgeable, I make you children understand. The question of blessing or mercy does not arise. It is a good question of temporary happiness either. It is not a question of temporary happiness either. Others can give temporary happiness. If someone receives some benefit, the name of the person he or she received benefit from becomes famous. Your attainment is for 21 births. No one but the Father can give you this attainment. No one can make your body free from disease for 21 births. On the path of devotion, people are happy if they experience even a little happiness. Here, you receive a reward for 21 births. In spite of that, there are many who do not make effort. It is not in their fortune. Everyone is inspired to make the same effort. In other kinds of education, you have different teachers. Here, you only have the one teacher. Maybe you would sit with someone separately, but it is the same knowledge. It all depends on how much knowledge each one takes. The whole significance is merged in this one story. Baba is telling you the true story of becoming Narayan. You can tell them specific dates. There are some famous people who can relate the true story of becoming Narayan because they have memorized the whole story. You too can memorize the story of becoming Narayan. It is very easy. First of all, the father says, Manmanabha, then sit and explain the history. You can show the era of Lakshmi and Narayan. Come, let us explain to you how the father comes at the confluence age. He enters the body of Brahma and explains. To whom? To those who are the mouth-born creation of Brahma, who then become deities. It is a story of 84 births of becoming deities from Brahmins. This is the full knowledge which you must listen to and then repeat. It will then enter your intellects that you were deities and that this is how you came into the cycle. This is the true story of becoming Narayan. How easy it is. How did we claim the kingdom and how did we lose it? For how long did we roam? There was the clan of Lakshmi and Narayan and their dynasty. There were the clans of the Sun dynasty and the Moon dynasty. There were the clans of the Sun dynasty and the Moon dynasty. The father comes now at the confluence age and makes the clan of Shudras into the clan of Brahmins. It is you who listen to the true story. In the golden age, Lakshmi and Narayan had palaces that were studded with diamonds and jewels. What is there now? The father has already told you this story. The father says, remember me, and the alloy will be removed from you. The more alloy you remove, the higher your status will be. Everyone understands number ones. Baba knows the ones whose intellects are able to imbibe well. There is no difficulty in explaining this. It is very easy. It is well known that human beings become deities. Keep relating this true story of becoming Narayan. The other story is false. The story on the part of devotion, which is the Satnarayan Katha, Baba is saying. The other story is false. This is the true story. It is easy to relate the true story of becoming Narayan and to read the Murli at a center. Anyone can run a center, but you also need very good manners. You should not be like salt water with each other. You lose your honor if you are not sweet to each other. The father says, you cannot claim a high status if you defame me. Gurus have said that of themselves. They do not show a destination. There is only the one who can show you your destination. If you defame him, you lose it and your status is destroyed. If you dirty your face, you destroy yourself completely. There are some who experience defeat, some write with honesty, yet there are others who tell lies. All falsehood is removed from your intellect if you continue to relate the true story. Do not perform such actions that the father is dishonored. Those who have such a stage will behave the same no matter where they go. They do realize that they cannot improve. Therefore, they are given the advice. And what advice they're given? Stay at home with your family and do service when you have imbibed this knowledge. You will not accumulate sin whilst staying at home. Here, you bring dishonor when you behave in a common way. It is better to live like a lotus at home with your family. Acha, okay. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap, Daddy. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharana, first point. In order to remove falsehood from within you, constantly listen to the true story of becoming Narayan and inspire others to do the same. Do not act such a way that the father would be dishonored. Second point, be sweet in your interaction with each other. Never be like salt water. Imbibe good qualities and then do service. Baba's blessing for today. May you be multi-million times fortunate and constantly progress with the sustenance of greetings in your Brahmin life. At the confluence age, Brahmins make progress with the special greetings filled with happiness. The basis of sustenance in Brahmin life is greetings from the Father. From the form of the Father, you receive greetings at every moment. From the form of the teacher, words of well done, enable you to pass with honors. From the form of the Satguru, blessings for every elevated action you do easily give you the experience of a life of pleasure. This is how you are multi-million times fortunate for being the children of God, the bestower of fortune. You have claimed the right to the full fortune. And the slogan for today, those who receive everyone's blessings by doing real service are truly fortunate. Om Shanti. Do have a very powerful day in Baba's remembrance.